Welcome back, Truth Seeker. A lot of technical difficulties getting this stream off the ground. Using StreamYard, they did a system update, and I don't know, something funny going on, but this is about take 5 on trying to get the stream off the ground. Anyway, for one more proof of what's really going on in the United States of America and who's really running this nation, something that seemingly nobody wants to hear about, the government plans to reopen on Wednesday. And whose birthday is Wednesday? Is that the Superior General's 77th birthday? In light of Washington, D.C. being on the 77th Meridian West? Again, the Superior General is the leader of the Jesuit order. And as I've said a million times, it's the Jesuits who moved the capital to Washington, D.C. It's the Jesuits who moved Inauguration Day to January 20th. There's a way disproportionate amount of Jesuits in federal office in Washington, D.C. We've gone from Jesuit-educated Trump to Jesuit-educated Biden, back to Jesuit-educated Trump. But literally, the 77th birthday of the Superior General will be this Wednesday, November 12th, and that's the day the government plans to reopen. Look, Senate approved the deal last night. President approved the deal today. Why do they got to wait till Wednesday? Like, what's wrong with tomorrow? It's because it's a ritual, you guys. And this is what goes on in Washington, D.C. every day, ritualism. These perfectly coordinated votes. It's annoying that I can present this evidence day after day, and probably 90% of people who pass through are like, yeah, whatever, man, it's the small hats. I don't want to hear that Jesuit crap. That's become a lot of people's opinion of me. Zach's just covering up for the small hats, trying to pin everything on the Jesuits. It's like, am I trying to pin everything on the Jesuits, or am I going through history? Am I going through the warnings by the founders who Lincoln blamed the Civil War on? Again, who did move the capital to D.C.? Who did move Inauguration Day to January 20th? And now this, the nation's longest government shutdown, is going to come to a conclusion on the Superior General's 77th birthday. Again, D.C. is on the 77th Meridian West, and United States does equal 77 in Gematria. Don't even get me started on that plane number 77 that took off at 8:20 and crashed at 9:37, 77 minutes later into the 77 story, or not story, but 77-foot tall building, the nation's War Department. Of course, I'm talking about that day back in September of 2001. But yeah, let's go through all of this piece by piece. So last night, they finally are able to reach a deal in the 11th hour on a Sunday. Remember, it's the Catholic Church who the Jesuits serve that made Sunday the day that it is. But this year, Sunday fell on November 9th, the day leaving 52 days left in the year. Government equals 52. And again, now Wednesday is going to be the reopening day. It just couldn't be any more perfect. Again, the Superior General's 77th birthday. Government reopens on the 77th Meridian. The announcement was made by the Speaker of House, whose full name is James Michael Johnson, 77. November 12th, keep in mind, it is the day leaving 49 days left in the year. Washington, Donald J. Trump, America, they all equate to 49. Don't forget Scottish equals 49. I probably should have put that up there. Trump of Scottish ancestry. The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry with its headquarters in D.C. Excuse me. D.C. known as the Masonic City. 49 is the 33rd composite number. Masonry, federal, secrecy, order, they all equal 33. This information, by the way, it isn't just meant to go in one ear and out the other. It's meant to be acted upon. And that's the thing that's frustrating, right? They call us who make social media content influencers. And obviously the consequence for being 1,000,000% on point with your research and actually figuring out what goes on is that you get to have no influence. You get to be totally shadow banned, deleted 20 some times, and now in a place where none of your videos get any views. And if somehow, some way it slips out and get tens of thousands of views in a day, it's deleted and taken down for hate speech. Again, this has never happened before, ever in my years of doing this work until this channel, the latest channel, where nothing can get views until Charlie Kirk finally passed. That video got a lot of views, and it was deleted almost within 24 hours for hate speech, even though there was no hate speech in it, just showing what the actual ritual was with Charlie Kirk, who was loaded into an SUV and not an ambulance, as the crime scene was dismantled at once and no police investigation was done. But anyway, here it is again. And for all you guys out there who can't pull your head out of your ass and you think everything is small hats and you got your fake quotes from Rothschilds that were never said, what say you this time? How come you guys don't ever have any follow-up to what I'm presenting other than, you're just trying to cover up for the small hats. I heard you're a small hat because I watch one of those anonymous shill channels. Yeah, a lot of people over the years have put out the idea that I'm some kind of Mossad agent. No, I'm the definition of independent journalism and probably the best in the game. You know, I would toot my own horn enough to say that I might be the greatest detective of all time because nobody ever pieced all this together before. Nobody figured it out before. And actually, it was pretty surface level the whole time. Look at this mockery. It's just nobody's looking in the right direction because all the social media is pushing the same false narrative. Small hats, small hats, small hats. It's not. The small hats are such a tiny little religion compared to the Catholic Church. So itty bitty. Do you remember learning in his storybooks about the great small hat crusades of the world? Because I don't. Meanwhile, the Catholic Church has been making everybody take the knee, bend to the sword across the world, get Latin America, and a lot more places than that. But I'm just making the point that they didn't start on these continents. They came across oceans. But yeah, this is one of the most blatant things ever. The longest government shutdown. They can't end it today. They can't end it tomorrow. They got to wait till the Superior General's birthday. Again, and you know what's funny? Most of you guys who hate small hats, you guys believe in that religion that's glued onto the back of the Old Testament. Without the Old Testament, there's no your religion. Your religion is just, again, it's like somebody said, oh, this book's successful. Here, let me glue some more pages onto the end. It's like a copycat imitation, changing a few things here and there. It's really weird. Like, what's with all this small hat hate when you guys worship a man from Judea? Does anything about you make any sense? And that's the thing about you religious types too. Your worldview isn't based on evidence. It's just based on whatever you want to believe. You can just believe whatever you want. I don't care that Zach presents undeniable evidence every day. I don't care that he wrote a book showing how it was all Jesuits behind the scam that was 2020, the cooties. And I don't care that his book nailed exactly when they would end their scam. I'm still blaming everything on small hats. Who were the great small hats that were running the scam, the cootie scam, back in 2020 and the couple years that followed after? I don't remember any. I remember a lot of Jesuits, though. Can't really remember. And there probably were a few small hats here and there. Again, the Jesuits do have a relationship with them, but these are the bosses. This is who runs the show. And don't forget, we are in the time of the 56th Speaker of House, Mike Johnson. Born in 72, Jesuit Order 72, Society of Jesus 56. But yeah, the name he goes by, Mike Johnson 56. Remember Nancy Pelosi equals 52. She was the 52nd Speaker of House. She just announced she's out of here by the numbers. She's another Catholic Jesuit educated one in Washington, D.C. for a gazillion years. How many years ago was it now that it looked like Nancy Pelosi's MK Ultra was glitching out on TV? Think about how many years ago that was now. I was living at my house in Yakima when that was going on. That was what, over 5 years ago, and she still remained in Congress. She's been like having these meltdowns on TV where it looks like she's glitching out like an old computer, but she's been able to maintain her position in office for all these years. You think anyone's voting for her? You think they're really counting your votes? If you've been out there voting for Nancy Pelosi in recent years, what's wrong with you? Or ever. Again, they don't count our votes, you guys. They just install whatever little puppets they're going to put in there. And most of them are of Catholic and Jesuit education. This is the game. So, yeah, Wednesday. Unbelievable. By the way, don't come on my stream unless you can follow the directions. I'm going to drop a link here. I'm going to present a few more things. Lenny Wilkins' death. R.I.P. Lenny Wilkins. We circled Lenny Wilkins to die a while back. It was all part of the Rigged Thunder Championship. Again, Sonics, who he coached, won the championship in 79. They became the Thunder. The Thunder won the 79 season. We knew Lenny Wilkins was in deep trouble. And we'll talk about just how perfect his exit was from the world stage by this same old code that pretty much shines a light on all the evil taking place day in and day out. Remember, there's been songs made about this practice of coding numbers into words and how you can use it to kill people. Again, they got a song, they got a couple songs about it. They got a movie about it. They got a TV show about it. But yeah, Lenny Wilkins gone at 88. Again, the Sonics, who he won the championship with, became the Oklahoma City Thunder. Notice he's dead at 88 like Oklahoma City Thunder. Last year, they lost in the NBA Cup on the Pope's 88th birthday and then went on to win the championship. And his full name, Leonard Randolph Wilkins, has the 106 forwards, 1019 in reverse, or 119 in reverse. What day did he die? He died November 9th, 119. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 106. Seattle, WA, like you'd write it on an envelope. It's 106 as well. Seattle to Oklahoma City. The Sonics became the Thunder. Sonics are named after sonic booms. Thunder make big booms. But yeah, dead on November 9th. And then November 9th is the 313th day of the year, which is the 65th prime. Oklahoma City's 65. And it's also the day leaving 52 days left in the year. And Oklahoma City's also 52. Again, if you're new here, there's 4 base ciphers of the English language: alphabetic order, reverse alphabetic order, both orders with numerology applied. Very elementary system with very profound significance. Teach this, Larry, to a 7-year-old. If they can read, write, and do basic addition, they can get it. Probably should be taught to 7-year-olds, you know? Imagine if, for everyone out there, like, oh my God, no, they should be sheltered. Don't you think that's what's wrong with the world, is people stay sheltered for too long and then they grow up clueless and out of touch? Like, at what age should a child learn the truth of what's going on in the world they live in? Maybe they'd be more motivated to want to do something about this evil. Anyway, the date numerology yesterday was 29 and 11. Those were the pass. Obviously, 29 breaks down to 11. 2 plus 9 is 11. I just let you see that OKC's 29 and 11. And again, OKC's also 52, like the day leaving 52 days left in the year. And the Thunder yesterday became 10 and 1 for the year and 6 and 1 on the road. You see how finals equals 61 and 101? From the finals ending on June 22nd to his death was 140 days later. Washington equals 140. Again, that's where the Thunder came from, back where Lenny Wilkins won the only Sonics championship. And the fact they're playing Memphis, you can see Memphis has the 106 connection, like Lenny Wilkins and OKC, but you can see that Memphis also has these values: 34, 38, 83. Murders 34, 38, 83. Murder's also 79, like he won the championship in 79, and OKC won the 79 season last year. But yeah, that's who the OKC last game, or the game was against the day that he died. The day he dies, they're playing Memphis. And you think of Memphis, you think of, MLK's death, his last speech at the Masonic Temple. American basketball credited to the Mason Naismith. Again, all the major American sports are credited to Freemasons. Modern Freemasonry has a lot to do with the Jesuits. Yeah, Lenny Wilkins. I mean, it just couldn't be any more by the numbers. And remember, earlier in that day, you had the death of Paul Tagliabue, who became the NFL commissioner 4 days before the Berlin Wall fell. Jesuit educated at Georgetown, sat on a board at Georgetown. But yeah, he became commissioner 4 days before the Berlin Wall fell and is announced dead during the Berlin game. And he became the commissioner on Remember the 5th of November, the day the Jesuits tried to assassinate King James, the day known as the Jesuit treason, the day leaving 56 days left in the year. You get 56 points in the game in Berlin yesterday. But yeah, dead at 84 on a Sunday. The Colts, who won the game, who were moved to Indianapolis in 84 by Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay, who died 106 days before the 106th NFL season began. And that's the thing about Lenny Wilkins too, right? He's dead during the 106th NFL season, and he's dead right after the Dodgers win the World Series with their 106th win of the year on Fernando Valenzuela's birthday anniversary, whose name equaled 106, just like Robinson equals 106. Again, the World Series began on the 53rd death anniversary of Jackie Robinson at age 53, as the Dodgers pick up the 53rd World Series for the NL. But yeah, I covered the Paul Tagliabue thing yesterday. So I want you to realize just both of these things happen in the same day. And could the ritualism be any more obvious with either of them? I mean, this one is more numbers driven, Lenny Wilkins, but the fact that this man became the commissioner 4 days before the Berlin Wall fell. It's the 36th anniversary, and the Falcons fall to 3-6 in this game, going down to the Colts. And remember, Indianapolis Colts, that happened in 84, just like Atlanta's on the 84th Meridian West. Again, we covered a lot more about this yesterday, but yeah, both of those things in the same day. It looks like Warren Buffett's time is near, the Oracle of Omaha. Remember, Omaha is where one of the 27 Jesuit universities is in the nation. He says he's going out quietly, and look how perfect this ritual is. This is in the news today. Today's 72 days after Warren Buffett's birthday, right? Jesuit order equates to 54 and 72. The word oracle is 54. Again, he's the Oracle of Omaha. That's where Creighton University is. Remember, the word sun equals 54. The sun moves 1 degree on the astrological wheel every 72 years. It's where these numbers come together. The Jesuit logo, the sun. Creighton is the university there in Omaha. Creighton's got that 54 connection. It's also got that 144 connection like Jesuit order. And notice they make a point that this was 60 years after his first ever shareholders meeting for Berkshire Hathaway. 60 years. Warren Buffett equals 60. Remember, the first decade, the Jesuits were with the Roman Catholic Church. Their order was limited to 60 members. The 60 thing, recurring pattern. All the 60 ritualism with Trump, including sacrificing his ex-wife 60 weeks into the first Jesuit Ignatian year. The same day he said he'd run in the upcoming election, which was the 60th, when the 1960 and 1860 elections had to do with assassinations, just like this one. Charlie Kirk, 60 weeks after the Trump hoax. And then Warren Buffett's also 95 years old right now. Again, the Jesuits' whole reason for existing was to counter the 95 Theses. That's why they are recognized by the Roman Catholic Church on September 27th, the day leaving 95 days left in the year. Warren Buffett, supposedly the guy who always knew just what the market was going to do and turned a small, humble amount of money into billions of dollars. This is the story you're told in the mainstream. And again, do you think he had some insider knowledge? Do you think, again, I mean, it just goes without saying, you guys, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It's funny that they mentioned that he's giving away $149 billion today, because today's 149 days after Donald Trump's birthday. And again, Donald Trump equals 60, also Jesuit educated. So something tells me that's not an accident. He'll be replaced by Greg Abel next year. What a name, Greg Abel. He's able to replace him. Let me see. I didn't even look at that angle. Greg Abel, University of Alberta. June 1st birthday. I just got to check this out real quick. June 1st to today. 162 days or a span of 163. Check some out real quick. I forget. Is that how they spell it? Or is it? Yeah, that is how they spell it. Well, it doesn't seem like they did any great tribute here to Greg Abel. Seems like it's more just about it being 72 days after. Well, there's some interesting numbers. Seems like it's more about it being 72 days after Warren Buffett's birthday. It says he's going out quietly. And remember, his friend Charlie Munger died recently. Actually, let me see how that lines up too. So that was wow, that was 2 years ago already. I'm just blown away. I guess this last year's just been. I'm blown away. That was already 2 years ago. Unbelievable. Yeah, it was 2 Novembers ago. Okay. All right. Bonnie Watson, 10 years in Congress, in her 80s like Nancy. She says that she's retiring after this session. Notice that her announcement comes 277 days after her birthday, the 59th prime as a black woman. Again, slave, Negro, blues, Rasta, Bonnie, they all equal 59. Motown since 59. Black History Month ends on the 59th day of the year. But yeah, what a day for Bonnie to come out and say I'm retiring. So it's another 59 ritual in Black history. And this typhoon, I put out a short video on this last night. Again, just devastated the Philippines on the day leaving 52 days left in the year. Talked about this a million times. Vice News, their article's still up, making fun of my research on hurricanes and weather warfare in 52. Same article still up. It's from 2017. I've been talking about this since forever. This was about how Matt Harvey was the first pitcher to pitch in Houston after the flooding of Harvey 52 days before the start of the World Series. And that day I explained why the Astros were going to beat the Dodgers in the World Series. Vice News wrote this article making fun of it. But yeah, it's just about the 52 thing and flooding. The reason that matters is because the word flood in gematria equals 52. This whole article is written in a mocking tone. But yeah, it's happened a million more times since. Just happened in Jamaica. And again, now, this Typhoon Feng Wong does crazy damage to the Philippines on November 9th, the day leaving 52 days left in the year. And again, from government 52 to Oklahoma City 52, you just see the ritualism on this day. Senate reaches a deal on the government shutdown. Lenny Wilkins is dead, et cetera, et cetera. I'll have to go back and look. I didn't even realize that they'd recently gotten hit by another typhoon as well. But the name of this storm, Feng Wong, 107, 44, 109, just like military. Again, that military document from the U.S. military from the 90s about owning the weather by 2025. Remember, you destroy people's property. Sometimes you can come in and buy it for pennies on the dollar. Population control is a real thing. Displacing people is a real thing. Disaster capitalism is a real thing. The cabal seemingly just loving to inflict horror, needless stress into the lives of people. And it helps them make money off their drugs, doesn't it? You got the whole world on pills in the 21st century. That wasn't the case 30 years ago. Now almost everybody's on some kind of pill. Happy to say over here, I've never been on any pills, but per the statistics, I'm the outlier. So anyway, we got to start our Patreon stream for Monday Night Football, looking to capitalize off the rigged NFL yet again. If you want to join us, we will be on Patreon in about 5 minutes. Again, thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share. Shout out to Leper Messiah, always for being generous. He said Lenny lived in Akron, Ohio, while he coached the Cavs, same place where Braun and Curry were born, and and don't forget Nate Thurman, who's likely the father of LeBron. Yeah, Braun, Curry, Nate Thurman, all born in the same hospital in Akron. And Curry's dad played for the Cavs. He says he's at work and can't decode right now. But hey, I appreciate it, Leper Messiah, always making the time. I do appreciate it very much. Thank you. So he came one more time. All right. He said, then the K played. Oh, but the Cavs. I bet you meant to write the Cavs. The Cavs played in the Richfield Coliseum. Okay. Appreciate that information, Leper Messiah. All right. We will be over on the Patreon in minutes. Again, thank you to everyone who supports the work. And yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame what they've done to this channel. If you guys can help this work get out somehow, sharing it on your own channel, clipping it, doing whatever, it's got to get out. The way that we're just played with as a society, it is something else. And it's so obvious who's doing it. And nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Tell me out there. I didn't see anybody in the back when I just hopped in there, by the way. I thought I dropped the link earlier, but I got to wrap it up now. Tell me if you think this is all a coincidence. Why is it a coincidence to you that they're reopening the government on a Wednesday? It doesn't need to be Wednesday, but they've chosen to make it Wednesday, the Superior General's 77th birthday, the federal city on the 77th meridian. And we all know about the long history of 77 and the ritualism there with it. 24 years later, they still haven't shown us any footage of supposedly Flight 77 hitting that building that's 77 feet tall 77 minutes after taking off. We still haven't seen it. All right, True Seeker. Till next time.